everybody. I'm Andy Tyra, Akeneo's Chief Product Officer. I'm delighted to be back on the Unlock stage 1 year later with 100% more predictions about the future and 30% shorter hair. Before we look forward, and we'll just take a quick projection 18, 24 months into the future as part of this, I do want to just step back and look back over the course of the last year. In order to do that, I want to remind ourselves, anchor on Akeneo Product Cloud and what we mean when we talk about that. To us, Akeneo Product Cloud means the collection, the constellation of tools and systems that you're using to execute your end-to-end product experience strategy, and the environment that makes it easy for those components to connect, to interoperate, to share context, to share data. And Akeneo and our partners and this ecosystem are there to help build that end-to-end execution of your strategy. So last year, I stood up here, I talked a lot about that. And since then, aside from the things you just saw, there's a lot of other innovations that are going unsung. All of these things have been delivered in the last year. A few things to highlight. We stood on stage last year and we talked about the need for enhanced interoperability in the product cloud, the ability to more easily integrate more components, have them share more data, more context. This year, we now have a modern high-velocity event bus. We have event hooks. We have the UI extensions that you've just seen with more innovation to come. We've made tremendous strides in this regard. Similarly, if you were here last year, you might remember at the end, I presented some early thinking, some wireframes, kind of a flip chart experience where we were talking about where we might go building a closed and connected loop around the 360 product record, which you've now seen come to light today in the form of PX Insights. Again, the first step in a long journey. So when we step back and we look back over the last year, we're feeling like, okay, we're feeling good. We're having a good time. So now we're challenging ourselves to do it again. And that's what this next segment is all about. How we're investing to help you centralize, enrich, activate, and optimize along the entirety of your product experience strategy. So let's get into it. We have this year 3 themes that are guiding our investment. The first is to help you build a true enterprise-wide source of truth for product information, connecting very much to Fred's talk. The second is to continue to expand the integration and interoperability that we have inside the product cloud to help you reach more destinations and pull in more product data from more sources and more supporting data and context to help make better business decisions. And the third, surprise, surprise, Akeneo AI helping operate your product cloud. So let's step through each of these. In the theme of the source of truth for product information, the first thing that we know, we said this last year, we're saying it this year, we'll probably say it again next year, your businesses are becoming more and more complex along many dimensions. You're selling into more geographies with more product lines that are moving faster, more brands, more target customers. We will continue to innovate to keep pace with that complexity and help model in a first-class manner more and more and more of that structure inside of the PIM. This year in particular, we're guided toward helping with bundling composable products, customizable products, and making connections with your surrounding logistics systems. The other important dimension of this is the flexibility of that modeling. You've already seen this with our bidirectional, localizable, and scopable attributes feature. We know that as the world moves faster, you're going to need more two-way doors that you can walk through when it comes to modeling and the data that you're keeping inside of the product cloud. So we'll be making investments not only in helping you model more, but also to do so more flexibly and at higher scale. More volume in more places. Along similar lines, we know that another dimension of complexity a lot of businesses are facing is that they are trying to model more across more business units and across more brands inside of the product cloud. So we'll be, again, making investments to bring that as a first-class modeling capability inside of the product cloud so that one organization in the context of a product cloud implementation can model products from many brands or many business units. In order to manage that complexity, of course, our workflow engine is going to have to evolve to deal with all of those different scenarios and also to do some fundamental things like execute steps in parallel. So we'll be continuing our investment there. And then underpinning all of this, if we're going to help you establish a true centralized source of truth, we're going to need to meet some of the fundamental requirements around governance and user provisioning and audit. So direct integration with SCIM and SIEM systems, for example, are part of our roadmap for the next year. Moving on then into the extended product cloud, helping reach more destinations. The first is to talk about PX Insights. We've taken a first step, pulling in user review information and sales performance information and ad performance information from common destinations. Obviously, our investment there is going to continue to pull in more sources of data and connect to more similar systems. But also the goal here is to create a true closed loop. So not only are we going to help pull the data together into one place where you can see performance and the originating record in one place, but we also will come forward and start making actionable recommendations, specific things that you can change that we expect to improve things. And then come along and help you understand the impact of accepting those recommendations. Then, of course, integration. More apps, like the great ones you've already seen highlighted today, are critical. So our API suite will continue to evolve. We'll make sure that we have coverage for all of the gestures you need. We'll continue to invest in UI extensions so that UI extensions become something that can participate not just in the PIM UI, but in the product cloud beyond. Basically, our goal for this year is to make sure that every dimension of the product cloud can be automatable. Then, and I know some people in this room are probably familiar with our shared catalogs product. It's one of the components in the product cloud that we author. We expect a big evolution in this product this year. We're calling it the digital showroom. We've heard a lot of feedback from many of you that shared catalogs is very valuable, but it doesn't go far enough. It gives a view into the data, but it doesn't truly enable your sales fields the way you need it to. So the digital showroom is going to bring together much more customization in terms of the look and feel and organization of the data, and also bring CPQ and offer information into one place so that your fields can truly take these products to market in one central location, giving them access to the data they need. Finally, the activation space. Activation and source channels as well. So we are making ongoing investments to integrate with the SAP stack, in particular the SAP S/4HANA ERP, which we know is a source of data for a lot of people's product clouds. We'll also be adding activation channels with a target of trying to get to 1,000 channels by this time next year. But maybe most exciting for us, we know that many Akeneo customers have relationships with each other and are trying to share data together already. So we'll be making directed investment in helping direct activation of product data across product clouds from one customer to another. By this time next year, anyone who has implemented our supplier data manager product will have an option to list themselves as an activation channel. And Akeneo will handle all of the heavy lifting of data transformation from one product cloud to the next. Finally, talking about AI. We are, of course, making investment in AI to help with productivity. As Ramon said, this is great, it is important, it's going to be a continuous line of investment for us. You've just seen some of the great investments we've made around smart editing of assets and direct delivery, of course. That's going to continue, moving data the other direction. Imagine analysis of an asset being able to extract the color of a piece of clothing and place it in the color attribute. Or automatic classification and tagging of assets to products. All of these are in our plans for this year. But we think it goes beyond that. We're particularly excited and think the greatest impact of AI in this space, as Ramon said, is helping you operate your product experience management strategy, help you operate your product cloud. So one of the things that's at the center of that is workflow. So AI can start to help you design your business processes. It can even handle some of the validation steps that need to happen inside of those workflows. And of course, AI can also help with mapping. Mapping is an endlessly tiring task for the entire product experience management journey. One system and another system that need a set of attributes mapped and remapped slightly differently. This is a place that AI excels. We can expect to see this popping up in more and more parts of the product cloud this year. And finally, SDM, our supplier data manager, which is itself AI-powered today, will continue to evolve into an AI-powered vendor portal, a true sort of end-to-end experience for any distributor or retailer in the room who needs to manage a wealth of incoming data from many different suppliers and vendors. But there's one more thing I want to talk about today. We've been thinking a lot about what it means to establish this product cloud to begin with. It is bringing order to chaos, and it involves a lot of difficult decisions up front in order to get started. You have to model all the different products and complexities and make a lot of decisions about the modeling capabilities to fit the strong opinions of the product cloud. And it's virtuous, it's great. We all know the impact of doing that, but we also know that it's a big upfront lift. And so we've been asking ourselves, what can we do in the theme of AI as an operating system to help our customers do something that might take typically a few months at best? How can we help them do that in a few hours? Last week, one of the most senior engineers at Akeneo showed me a demo that answered that question for me. I got to see the future. I'm so excited to be telling you about it. But here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking I'm going to break the usual protocol. I'm thinking I should show you the future instead of tell you. So here's the deal I will make with you. If I get a big enough round of applause, I will invite that engineer on stage to give you the same demo he gave me. Where are you, Max? I'd like to introduce Max Baudry. He'd like to show you his brainchild.
Hi, everyone. Hello. Hi, everyone. I'm Max. And today I'm going to tell you a story about someone who wants to sell spare parts for bikes. So let's say that I want to sell helmets, gloves, brakes, cables, everything linked to spare parts for bikes. So we are in my PIM now. So in my PIM, I have products. So let's see one product here. And in that product, I have like a data model already established. So as you can see, I have attributes here, like text attributes, select attributes with options. And I have also text prices, booleans, multi-select attributes, everything is here. And to establish such a data model is usually long and painful, like several weeks, several months. And for this one, it just took me 2 hours to do the thing. And I'm going to show you how I did that. So, yeah, big deal, right? And so I did that using the new feature that we are working on right now, which is named the Data Model Designer. And in that particular feature here, I'm going to zoom in a bit for you, okay? So I'm asked 2 things. The first thing I'm asked is to give a context, some guidance about my business, about my products. So I'm going just to tell the model that I am a B2B vendor who wants to sell spare parts for bikes. This is important for me, and so on. So that the model can have an idea of the granularity of the data model it has to generate. And the other thing that I'm asked is some files, because at the onboarding process, all I have in the world is my products, usually in an Excel format like that. So it can be formatted in various ways. And so I'll just give them here, like the first one here, I have a second one also here. And what is going to happen here is that once I press start, a series of agents, AI agents will take over and like read my description, read my files, and infer the granularity of the data model that it has to generate. And what you have to know is that those agents are like designed to know exactly what Akeneo is. They know our documentation, they know what a family is, they know our attribute types, and they know exactly how to model a product like this and not like that, because we design them with our internal experts, because we know how to model a product. So here I'm just going to press start, and now, okay, so everything is going in action. So it reads my file, it reads my design, and now I have a proposal in a few seconds. I have a proposal of a data model. So as you can see, we have families, we have attributes. I can see the families. I can edit some properties of the families, also for the attributes, make it scopable, not scopable, and so on, change the labels, everything. I can also add attributes, remove attributes, edit attributes, same for the families. And also I have here, you don't see, yes. I have here a small chat on the bottom that helps me refine this taxonomy. For instance, let's say that the two last families here, like mountain bike and road bike helmets, the products in those families are basically the same. So I just want to merge those families and let the model make me a proposition of what would look like a merged family of those two families. So I'm just going to ask that. So merge the road bikes and mountain bikes helmets families into a single family. So now, okay, we could understand, we'll translate my intention into a series of actions, such as like deleting families, creating a new one, configure a new one. And now, okay, it tells me, okay, I have created a new family named bike helmets right here. And I can see that, okay, it's merged and so on. So I can like iterate with the model to refine this data model. And if I made mistake by any chance, I also have an history that tracks every version of the taxonomy that I made, so that I can go back and like until I reach the point where my data model is sufficient enough that I can just apply it in my PIM and just get it back here, so that I have the families and attributes in my PIM right there. So what you have to know is this is the first step of a broader vision and technical vision that maybe Andy will talk to you about. Right?
Absolutely. Bravo, Max. So as Max says, this is the first step. This is the initial configuration step that we know takes a long time if you're trying to do it manually, you don't know where to start, you don't know how to bring these things together. But it doesn't stop there. Because after that, we can apply this same technology to help you with migration. We can move data from one state to another using the same AI platform. You might remember a little ways back, I talked about creating two-way doors and having more of our modeling capabilities be able to move bidirectionally. So you can start to see how the combination of this plus migration plus a much more flexible data model is really Akeneo trying to help you be ready for that AI wave. Hope you enjoyed the demo. Thanks a lot for the time, and everybody have a great lunch.